All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where exactly you're watching. We're going to cover all the time zones now because of Australian people, like this Scott guy. Who the hell is this guy? Cast me the Ranconius, I think his name is. I don't know, some Australian guy we dragged out of, I don't even, the Australian outback or somewhere. He was fighting a kangaroo for a while, and I don't even know. It was all sorts of crazy stuff.
G'day, mate. How the heck are ya?
Okay, then.
Don't open up a stream without a g'day, mate.
That is true. Do you have your little Marmite, Vegemite? Vegemite.
Vegemite? Yeah.
You said something about getting coffee and a snack maybe before we started?
Yeah, so Australians also have a thing called Milo. I wasn't getting that. I was actually getting coffee. But Vegemite, no, I had some Vegemite on toast this morning for breakfast, but that was like hours ago. So.
Oh. Nevertheless, it is time for the EU Challenger Cup for week number 4. Fate Esports will be facing off against Team Illusion in the first match of the day. We had to switch the teams up a little bit. One of the teams did have to forfeit. We were going to do one of the, I forget who we were doing first. But yeah, nevertheless, Fate Esports, Team Illusion, that's what we're watching now. Picks and bans already underway. Cirket Sylvanas banned out Athena to follow up on that, as well as a quick ban out on Neith. Can't really fault any of these bans coming out as they stand now. Neith, of course, one of those, not necessarily a top-tier hunter necessarily, but that ambiguity of where exactly you can stick her makes her just such a valuable early pick, so why not just take her off the table? Same thing with Athena to an extent as well.
Yeah, you know, the other two bans in Cirket and Sylvanas aren't as broad, but they're still very strong in their role. Especially the Cirket, able to put a lot of influence on the map, the amount of damage she can put out later on, and the splash when she gets that first execute if the team fight is coordinated correctly from her side of things. Ooh, it's real rough to try and handle that. So, you know, taking her off the board, especially in this sort of a matchup, that's a wise decision.
Yep, Thor getting locked in as the first pick. Global presence, of course, a lot of early game burst damage, as well as that tectonic rift for wall-off potential and extra stun power. On the other side, Ymir and Ullr getting picked up as they both got locked in as that timer did tick on down. So not only a potential, well, actually Ymir's not one of these guys who can potentially go many, many places. Support's always an option. EU favors that quite highly over NA. But Ymir jungle, not something we see necessarily often, but often enough, as well as soul lane once or twice. So he's another one of these guys who can go anywhere. Ullr, double hunter meta, well and alive. Yet another one of these guys, and you can see him soul lane, you can see him dual lane as a hunter, so options is really the story of this game so far.
Yeah, and drafting so far as well. The smart idea as well on the backside is to pick up the solo lane and the Geb, because it leaves you your choice of mid laner, your choice of hunter as well coming through. Whoa, that's a jungle or solo lane Ymir now.
That was a quick lock on an Ares as well. Into a Geb was a little bit of an unusual pickup. Geb, you apply the shackles, you're crippled, except then Geb immediately applies the stone shield to him, so it's like one of those little odd matchups early on. That said, it's not necessarily the worst matchup for Ares either, because the shackles can potentially last for up to 6 seconds. The stone shield, it's relatively short. It all comes down to how well can you time that application to apply that cripple. There's a couple of the guys already. Thor and Tyr both have some issues with it, and you know, 2 more picks. Most of the hunters are going to have some issues as well using their escapes.
Yeah, next bans to come through as well is going to be the Arpwash and the Poseidon. Mid lane centric bans, because that's what we're missing at this point, unless it's going to be, you know, a Tyr mid lane or a Thor mid lane. Come on, give me a Geb mid lane, you know, something off the backside. No. This is a smart pickup as well, picking up the Agni at this point. Strong wave clear, strong damage source, and just a real viable threat at all phases of the game. Brings that really nice CC with the Noxious Fumes combo and with any of his other abilities. So Agni is just a strong pick. And it also allows them to say, hey, we can run this Ymir in the solo. Hey, we can run this Ymir in the jungle. Hey, we can run this Ymir support if we really wanted to throw Ares in the jungle or in the solo for some funky reason. And we can run a double hunter if we want. This is a flex pick draft, and that's what you're seeing on the screen at the moment. They're waiting for the opposition's full lineup. They're going to go, yes, do we want to run double hunter? No. All right, we're going to flex everything out, and we'll be totally fine, because Ullr scales incredibly well just in his zone. So picking up another assassin, like a Loki potentially in the solo lane, still an option.
Yep, one more left to pick up. Right now it's a hover on Ram. Double hunter has been kind of what we've been seeing a lot of lately, so this wouldn't be too surprising of a lock-in. Fate Esports comp was fully locked in. They picked up Xbalanque and Janus for their mid laner. So single hunter composition coming up from those guys. And if you're gonna go with one hunter, Xbalanque is probably the one to do it with. You know, the hyper carry of hyper carries. And it'll be pretty strong, but it will be Rom getting locked in on the side of Team Illusion. So that team's rounded out. That is going to be double Hunter, so Ullr most likely going to be played over in that solo lane. Where up against Tyr, he'll have an okay matchup. If Tyr looks to go win, you still always have to watch out against displacement gods. You don't want to get caught by them and knocked back into a place you may not necessarily want to be. Assuming you can avoid that, that will have the Glory Bound, maybe an early point into his 2 for the Invigorate movement speed boost, will make his early laning phase just that much safer. So he has some options to play with, and, well, he'll have the mana buff as well, so his wave clear with his 1 and 3, when in that range stands, won't be too bad at all.
Yeah, and then the sustain, you know, Ullr's just really, really strong over in that solo. Rama can also do it, actually. He's not as strong, but... Enough about that. Let's actually talk about where the power spikes are. Rama and Ullr. Ullr has the best steroid towards the back end of the game. Why? 100% uptime. So long as he's in that range format, he's totally good. And he can switch in and out of that as quickly as he wants. You'll never find him in that melee form. So, a steroid that's always up. A power increasing steroid as well on that too coming through. That's just insane. Back it up with Rama and the pick-me-up. Man, this comp is just going to destroy a tier very, very quickly. Then they're going to turn and burn through the Geb. You know, whoever's in front of them, and they'll deal with a Thor exceptionally well because they're both incredibly mobile, and Rama can take to the skies, and Ullr's got his own in-hand stun on a low cooldown.
Yep. So that will be an interesting one. We'll see exactly how these two teams face off against each other once we get into the game. It is available, guys. No ghost time to wait on for this one, so we'll be back in just about a minute with the first match of the day. Alright guys, so welcome back. Time for the first match of today. Fate Esports facing off against Team Illusion in this one. As right now things stand, it's going to be Loxy Poxy playing the solo lane tier for Fate Esports. Galeforce in jungle is Thor. Princey in the mid lane as Janus. Jacob HL playing support. Geb and Otterish as their AD carry. Hunter Xbalanque. How about Team Illusion?
Well, Team Illusion are going to be Kazpoo in the solo lane on the Ullr. Samsa is going to be playing the Ymir in the jungle. Resu in the mid lane. Agni. Zada on the Ares. The Guardian role and Kirk are running this out from the Hunter. They're looking to go for an invade. Team Illusion, I mean, the early power spike, it's got to come through that Ymir, it's got to come through the Ares. That's where they're strongest at this level 1 point. If they get the successful invade, they were looking for kills. Not going to find it. Chains are perfect for that level 1 kill pressure.
Not only the chains, with Frost Breath coming off Ymir as well. You see the point already put into that one. So I'll have that. He won't have quite so good early initial jungle cam clear. Sometimes I get to words I'm looking for. So, not the worst thing. They can use the Frost Breath in lane, maybe look for a little bit of early aggression. There's a possibility they can go for an invade still and look maybe to get that mana buff from their opponent as well. So there's still some options on the table with the abilities picked up early.
I just think it's interesting to see him grab the Frost Breath. Yeah, it secures kill pressure, but Glacial Strike as well, burn a lot of damage at that level 1 point. There's going to be a counter invade coming through from Fate Esports. They're going to steal away the mana buff of their opposition. So Loxy Poxy to start with himself a double mana buff. Clear that one out, straight into the lane. They're going to clear this first wave, then they're going to go do speed, go do mana, and they're going to be totally fine and ahead on XP. From the backside, Team Illusion, they've noticed it. They're doing back camps.
Yeah, Blue Sun Pendant, it makes things a lot better. If this isn't Season 1 where it's like, oh, you lost your mana buff, you're screwed for 5 minutes. It's like, oh, well, I don't have my blue buff. I'll be okay, but I can't actually use any extra abilities to poke or harass. I have to save my mana pretty much entirely for just wave clear, unless I want to lose a whole load of gold to the tower. So, taking a peek over at the dual lane, a little bit surprising, I should say, on the stated health bars right now. Typically, you'd expect the blue team without that Ares to actually have lower bars, but it looks like Jacob HL so far has been making good use of those stone shields to mitigate most of the damage incoming.
Yeah, it's just the fact that they've just arrived in wave. First chain's going to land, they're not going to find the second one. The Geb shield's planted down. Moderate to tumble forward, looking from Kirko for some bonus damage. But it's just early lane trading on that left-hand side of the map. Right-hand side, look at Samsa and Kazpoo. Look at the response, the lane pressure coming out from these guys, and they're going to look for a buff steal. They're level 3 already.
Yep, it's going to be an early rotation actually over to the mid lane. Samson now going to get Princey out from under his tower because he's sitting there nice and safely. Just going to be sharing some love, sharing some of that experience over here. Yeah, we touched a little bit also on the initial early pickup. It's not a purple pod start for this Ymir. He did pick up that
Damn it!
Hand of the Gods.
Ah.
Oh.
No! Wasted gold.
The pod, it's a bit of a gamble. If you die, it's flat out you're 450 gold behind. If you don't get a kill, it's like, well, my jungle clear was slightly faster. Was it 450 gold faster? Probably not. So you really need to make an early kill count, and if it doesn't happen, it's not worth it. And let's face it, this is EU. We'll be lucky if we see, we'll be lucky if we see first blood by the 20-minute mark. So the purple pot start, yeah, it doesn't really pay off.
3 sets of back camps through the side of Team Illusion. Samsa and Resu get the left-hand side of Fate Esports. They're going to clear out their own left-hand side, get back into this lane. Of course, the right-hand side taken by Kazpu and Samsa. So they've gotten 3 out of the 4 sets of back camps so far that have been taken away. Probably be able to pick up that 5th camp as well in just a few seconds, I would imagine. Or they're going to hang around for mid? No, they'll hang around for mid camps. It's almost 3 minutes. It's too late to go for another set of back camps, but that's something that's already online for them. So just a little bit better clearing the jungle at this point.
And we'll see if there's a fight over these Harpies or not right now, as both teams look like they want the left side camps. Resu does he have the double halo? He does indeed. That's going to be 2 bombs coming down from him here.
Oh, they're finding a little bit of damage. It's focused on towards Princey, though. The portal through, and now down goes the Shards of Ice. Samsa, well, he was wishing he had a purple pod because he just secured that first kill. That would have been a worthy in the back pocket. Right-hand side med camp is going to go the way to Fate Esports, so it's just a trade, but that first blood pickup, that's in Team Illusion's favor. Double hunter composition, that gets Ares and Ymir online.
Yep, and the gank setup of those guys is going to be insane. No blinks yet, fortunately, for Fate Esports, but after those come online, it's like, well, blink Frost Breath, blink No Escape, blink Shackles from Ares, or blink Chains from Ares once everything else is on cooldown. There's some pretty nasty setups from those guys. And then when you have Agni for the stuns, to follow up, yeah, even Ullr has one on it with his axe throw, so there's some pretty nasty setup from Team Illusion. Fate Esports, though, once Thor gets to level 5 and actually has the Anvil of Dawn available, which it now is, he's sitting at level 6 already, there's some pretty good setup potential, and Loxy Pox as well on that tier. That Lawbringer into a Fearless can set up some nasty combos, so they're not exactly in a situation where it's like, well, we can't do anything until we actually get to the point where we're just full on 5v5 team fighting.
Something else to point out as well from the side of Team Illusion, Kazpu is like the only one that doesn't have some sort of decent AoE ability. You look at the one from Kirko in those Astral Arrows, and you look at his ultimate as well, able to put out some pretty heavy AoE damage and AoE burst as well if you combo that in with Jada and Resu and Samsa. You know, the Shards of True Eyes do a lot in that big area, and if you can lock somebody down with the No Escape Frost Breath combo, that's a pretty quick kill, and that's from guys that don't really, you know. Resu, yeah, he's going to do a lot of damage. Kirko, you're not expecting him to straight up burst somebody, but with the combo they've got on the field, they can miss 1 or 2 of those abilities and still nuke someone.
Oh, absolutely. And this is Jungle Ymir. This is in the case of, it's support Ymir. He has to get the Sovereignty and the Traveler's Shoes and the Heartward Amulet and the Wing Blade just so he can move around more quickly. Shoes of the Magi are online. That's a lot of extra magical power. He has the luxury and option of going to more kind of damage items or hybrid defense items where he's going to be building up that scaling. He has insanely good base damage numbers on his abilities. The extra damage on top of that is going to make it absolutely absurd. You're going to be looking at 200 or so damage in hand later on in this matchup. Left side, pull comes in onto Otterish, and the flames from the Searing Flesh onto Zada are good enough to secure that kill. Rama's up in the air just to make sure he can get away. Wasn't quite needed. They'll drop on down. And look for a Gold Fury, potentially, as they're heading over to this part of the map. Ymir, maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, they're thinking about something.
Will they go for it?
They're still thinking about it. They were just getting the ward out from Ymir. Look at that one over towards the mid lane to ensure that they had enough vision in and around. It's going to be the Gab starting to rotate in at this stage, but he's only got the Hog 1 through space and time is coming on through. They're going to try and get in towards this one. Illusion secured the Gold Fury, and now they're looking for kills. It's the first exit kill for Kirko. He gets Jacob. What else can they find? Princey at least going to respond with Zada, and Gale Force has got the tectonic shift on the line, but Kirko is going to find the second one on the backside. Gale Force still looking for more. He's going to find Samsa if he continues into this jungle. He does see Samsa, but he knows that Resu's just on the backside. Resu out of mana largely, but has a full health bar, and that's too much of a threat.
Yeah, so that's a Gold Fury plus a couple kills gone on the board for Team Illusion. That wasn't necessarily a bad play by Jacob. He was going in and looking for the steal there. He was able to get pretty close, but then the stuns came on out, and he was just kind of stuck in place, not able to get close enough to actually find it. And unfortunately for him, ended up paying with his life. Princey was able to answer back with 1 kill, so there's always that. And a little bit of golden board. Getting that first kill on the board is always a nice thing to do as well. Right side Harpy Camp, Gale Force picked it up, now looking for a speed buff. Taking a peek down at the items, you know, those Heartseekers were coming online. Xbalanque did lose half his stacks, but the duo lane at least, you can see a bit of a level and gold discrepancy starting to build as Kirko on that ROM now has Assy completed over Otterish, who still hasn't even started it.
Yeah, RC, so much of an early power spike. The Heart Secret itself is really, really strong, but as soon as you get into that RC as well, that's really quick penetration, that's a bunch of lifesteal, and the ability to outbox with that increased lifesteal for just a few seconds when you get below 35% health. That's insane. That's insane, right? The amount that you can heal back up, especially when your opponent's only at the point where they're on a Heart Seeker. So if somehow you get ganked and you get boxed down to a low portion of health, you can rebox yourself back into that one and still be spitting out damage at the same time. Mid lane gank is coming in.
Yep, so they make that one work. Princey, he's Janus, let's face it. Very, very hard to kill. Portals through the wall will get you out. Not quite every time. You can cripple him, for at least the regular old portals. If you're crippled, you cannot step through them, which can be quite frustrating, especially when Ares can be throwing out a cripple for about 6 seconds straight if he hits all 3 chains and actually spaces them out. So, fortunately for Princey, he was able to sneak his way through a wall. Through space and time, you're able to sneak through because you get some crowd control immunity. There's a regank coming in there looking for Jacob, but he was able to survive the initial burst. Yell Force low as his Princey's second bomb gonna barely miss.
He missed a bomb on a still target, man. Resu, lift your game, brother. You may be on the Swagni, but you just missed the swaggiest bomb I think ever.
He was looking for 2, and managed to split the foes on it, which in various sports would have been a good thing, but unfortunately in this case, not the story in Smite. Nevertheless, Team Illusion still a decent little lead early on,
with
but
that
8.5 minute mark coming up, 3.8k gold, 5,000 experience lead. And Team Illusion now looking to start controlling the jungle of Fate Esports.
And look at that aggressive ward that Kirko just raced on through and put down. Resu's going to get a little bit of trouble jumping in his face from the side of Gale Force, but they've stolen this red buff away. They've got that experience lead. What are they looking for next from the side of Team Illusion? The chain won't land on a Jacob, and this is starting to look like an awkward fight. Zada's a little bit called out. He's going to just immediately blink out of there. They're going to start chasing through. Great Ymir wall to stop the engage. The hammer tap from Gale Force. He's not quite going to find it. One man stun comes through, but he's going to get turned on.
Yep, Galeforce taking a little bit of poke there from Zada, but will they have to fall down? Looking for the fight. Princey taking a lot from Resu as he drops down those bombs. Kirko secures that kill. Now they're on the hunt looking for Jacob as well. The wall from Ymir will block him off. Trying to find the snipes downtown onto Galeforce. Not going to find it, but Resu secures that delayed double kill onto Jacob with another bomb.
And Ullr hasn't got the highest mana bar either. If they wanted to continue looking for the box out, they could have beaten him into a pulp very quickly, but they'll secure another buff, and that's the opponent's attack speed buff. And the camp securage rate is starting to go significantly in their favor. They get left-hand side mids, they're going to get right-hand side too, and this is starting to snowball out of control. Fate Esports are going to come up with something quick.
Yeah, tier 1 tower right-hand side. Casper was able to just push that one down. Not too worried at all about that tier coming out from Loxy Poxy right now. Mystical Mel is online as well with that back to base, so he's not necessarily in a bad spot to actually fight back and forth. The problem just becomes the fully stacked Heartseeker and Warrior Tabi. Yes,
blink in from Samsa. He gets the stun on towards Gale Force. They need one more lick of damage, and Zada's chains will provide. They find another kill from Team Illusion. It was in the mid lane. They're still not done, or are they? Resu's trying to get out of here. Princey won't be able to stop him this time around. He will get out of there. That's 2 wards planted on the exact same spot to try and get the vision down on towards him. But they're going to get out totally safe, and Team Illusion, another pick. They're at 6k in the gold advantage column.
Yep, across the game right now, you can see a level discrepancy starting to build as well, just matchup to matchup, 1 to 3 levels, depending who exactly you're looking at right now. It's still early, it's still anybody's game, but with the second Gold Fear coming up, I wouldn't be surprised to see Team Illusion starting to look to group up and fight for that one. You can see a lot of wards in hands right now. They picked a whole bunch of regular wards, 2 sentry wards as well, just to make sure that pit does not have an enemy ward sitting in the middle of it. Odderish did pick up one on his last back to base, because they know Gold Fury is about to respawn. But they have to make sure they defend that 1 sentry ward because it's all they have. It goes down, their vision will be gone. Jacob's going back to base now. Pick up more and more likely than not.
He'll be able to roll out back in and rejoin the fight as well. He's going to grab 1 ward and a mana potion for himself. So vision control, the aim of the game from Fate Esports, but it's slimming the amount that they can actually put in. That ward in the back of the Gold Fury pit, it's now gone. They've got vision control, and I expect them to start baiting here. They've got the advantage. They missed the Noxious Fumes looking for Princey, so not going to be able to fight him this time around. Jacob HL, he's still looking to try and get in on the left-hand side of things, and Odderish is just like, yo, minion waves. Minion waves. I'm going to shove those. Don't fight without me, boys.
There are so many cats left in boxes around this map right now. It's not funny. They're so cute. They just brighten things up a little bit, but then they murder the cats. It's horrible.
man.
Gold Fury.
Sometimes the cats fall out of boxes on their own.
Do they?
No, at 3 minutes. After they've been up for 3 minutes, I think. Team Illusion, though, they're going to get the Gold Fury now. They're through space and time, looking to come through to connect on multiple targets. Thor's in the sky as well. He's going to immediately back out of this one. Gale Force knew he couldn't fight it. He's going to get the zone down with the wall. What else can they find? They find one chain from Zada, but that'll really be it. Fate Esports get a couple of ultimates out of... Team Illusion get a couple of Fate Esports' ultimates out now. It's going to be the freeze and the Princey. He's going, Kirko's going to pick up that kill, and the second one they're going to look to dive on towards with Gale Force. The no escape comes through from Zeta. They will at least find Loxy Poxy, but he's got the Lawbringer to get out of there. Not a last ticket damage, but they will at least find Gale Force. Odderish now to join the fight on the backside, and Joden, they're going to continue diving this just for now, but it's just the tower they're after.
Yeah, tier 1 tower will fall. They might consider looking for the tier 2. Blink Frostbreath comes in, and Jacob HL as the bombs rain down from the sky from Resu. That's going to be another quick kill for those guys. They were looking as well for Odderish, but the chains from Zada did not connect. Had they, I wouldn't have been too surprised to see them look to continue that fight and just look for continuous engagement. But with that, tier 2 tower will survive, so Fate Esports got a kill in the process, but lost a few more. Team Illusion building the lead even further right now, sitting up about 8,000 gold. You can really start to see the item discrepancy coming up. They're about to head back to base with a decent chunk of gold in hand, start working on their third and fourth items in some cases. For Caspu over in that solo lane, the Assy is now completed, so no more worrying about incidental poke coming out from that tier. Loxy Poxy, not really gonna be able to poke him down in continuous little pokes. He's gonna have to look for just one fell swoop. I want to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I have to kill you now, or you just lifesteal it back up. But at the same time, Caspu has that tier 1 tower down, so he's not really going to be staying in lane, so there's not that much kill potential right now from Loxy Poxy onto him.
Well, I mean, the main reason he'd be looking to stay in this lane right now is just because there's minions in it, right? There's free gold and XP. Whoa, is this going to be a Gold Fury? Is this is just ward coverage just for now?
That's
as Team Illusion look to... Wrong side of the map, man. That's what, like the 7th or 8th time we've done that this weekend?
We both do it constantly. Just we call them both Fire Giants. You have the GF and the FG, and it's too similar. We should rename them, give them names. You have Betty and names. Bob or something that's similar to then. Thor trying to get up in the air, not quite gonna make it. As now Jacob HL in a bit of a bad spot. No escape, he's going nowhere as the pull will find a double kill for Zada.
And Loxy Poxy is going to be the second one from Zada. They did get more on the backside of that one. That's a lot of kills picked up, especially with the Geb dead. They've got the double hunter. They can really look to opt to go for multiple of any objectives. They can grab at the right-hand side tower. They can grab the mid one. It gives them total control over the Fire Giant pit, but Fire Giant's too risky an objective to even think about controlling the space of the pit. You just got to take it when your enemies are dead. They'll blink through. They get the stun. Caspu to pick up the kill, and that's 4 dead on the Fate Esports lineup. Can they burn through the FG quick enough? They've got a lot of items on board, and they've already got it. So that is a fantastic pickup for Team Illusion, and that is looking to secure this game. If Fate Esports can't find something in the next 2 to 3 minutes, I'd say this one is all she wrote.
Yeah, right now, I don't even think they can look to defend these towers as things stand. They really are lacking on levels, items as well. You can see the support, no sovereignty online yet. Almost a completed Heartward penalty on the other side of the board. It's really just going to be an issue of can they stay alive, and even the tanky frontliners Loxy Poxy and Jacob HL on the tier and Geb respectively, they're just not able to stay alive as soon as Team Illusion actually goes in. The Sams that blink Frostbreath sets them up. You either use beads or you're going to die. If you use beads, well guess what? Zada is waiting for no escape to follow up immediately after that. And now did we mention we have Resu with the rain fire bombs to come down just after that with even more big AoE stuns? So really the Team Illusion initiations, they're making good use of the crowd control setup and beads burning to actually make sure they can start these fights and win them in an effective manner. And Fate Esports haven't been able to figure out a way to respond to them quite yet.
Blink over on the left-hand line, they're looking to go on towards Odderish. They didn't quite catch on towards him. Burns the beads. Resu. That means it's on cooldown. Zada can look for an initiate in the near future, and they can get some real hurt down by removing the Hunter from Fate Esports lineup. Needs a kill on his favor as well. None for that Xbalanque passive at the moment. He's got no bonus power coming through. So look at the damage the Team Illusion are able to put out. Just burst straight through that tower. Rotate, man. All right, we're going to take this one as well. Ullr's going to get it himself. And then they're going to go right lane and pick up another tower. So much gold swing.
It's a handful of extra free gold. It's 4,500 plus a tier 1, so 5k gold just off the towers they're picking up right now. If they really want to, they can go back to base, spend that gold they picked up from that one. It's another tier or two of various items for those guys. They could also just look for the initial push or just more kills as the Frost Breath comes in, forcing beads off Gale Force. Jacob in a bad spot as well. Is he going to be able to get out of this one alive? Not going to be happening again.
Yeah, and the next focus will be Loxy Poxy. Down comes through the space and time, looking to pick up any backline damage or kills whatsoever. The focus on towards him, so much so he had to burn the Lawbringer in the backline. Zeta's going to grab Ullr so that he's not going to get away. He burned those beads. We talked about that and it was important. Gale Force gets on towards Resu. What else can they find? But this fight is just about over. Kirku, Resu finding kills for themselves, and that's just about it. There's 4 dead at this point in time, and Prince is the only man alive, but not for long, not for much longer. Jordan, this game is over.
Yeah, Titan is being aggressive and attack. They're not even waiting for minions quite yet. They're on their way, but they are not concerned. They're right down to half health. Is that Titan? Jacob trying to buy himself and his team some time, but it looks like that's going to be the game. As the next respawn is currently still sitting 7 seconds out, and the Titan is about to and will end up falling. Team Illusion led in a big way by Sam's out of that jungle, finishing the game out 2-0-15, as well as the rest in the mid lane with that Agni, pulling out big damage numbers, led Team Illusion to a rather convincing victory over Fate Esports.
Team Illusion as well, they're looking to go for those finalist spots in towards the round-robin stage of the Challenger Cup for Summer Split. They're sitting in 7th spot at the moment. They're tied with Laser Unicorns. These guys are sitting in prime position to qualify. With an early result like that, they've guaranteed themselves a spot in the round of 8, and that's guaranteed 10 points. So they're sitting at a minimum of 50 if they lose the next round matchup. That's a lot of points towards securing one of those lower rung spots and at least trying to break into that round robin phase of the Challenger Cup.
Well, they're right on that little point, and with only, now about a week and a half left to go in open bracket competition, a lot of teams in EU are fighting to lock down that spot. Not quite so many as in previous weeks. You know, it always tapers down as the weeks go on. But there's still a lot of teams fighting for those seeding points to lock in a spot going forward. We'll be watching another set of them fighting off here in just a few minutes, guys. So stick around, enjoy the music.